Now, this one's gonna be good. Quite simply, today I am sparking the spiritual revolution, which I've felt for a long time is really important that this comes into being as a way of life. Things need to change, and when things need to change, it comes from a time of great unrest, evolvement, and a shattering of the old world to begin again with the new. And particularly, I want to look at spirituality and how there is a spiritual revolution occurring and how this can best take place. Now, to start it all off with, we need to understand the concept of being at spiritual war. For quite a while, I believe from very, very early beginnings of time, we're talking a long, long time ago, we have devolved in spiritual consciousness. There is studies and evidence if you want to look out there in the bigger world, or if you want to be a Gnostic like me and look within and go through your soul, Akashic records, your soul story. My soul, her story, has shown me timelines when spirituality and people and tribes were much more conscious than they are today. And then we went through a period of devolving. Now, you only have to look at things like the pyramids and these big, amazing stone monuments that were built not by grafters or a superior building race, but by great technology. And when we look at technology in this way, we're looking at the human DNA, human technology, and divine technology at that, so more advanced than how we're used to living. Now, if we have follow through on that through line that we've devolved, why have we devolved? That doesn't make sense when we're taught that everything is about enlightenment and that we are smarter and brighter and better than we've ever been before. I feel we've been sold a massive lie. For example, look at our healthcare. Science was meant to come along with the Enlightenment period and come up with all these answers. And although there's some great things that have been offered, we are sicker than ever before. We are struggling with physical health. And if you want to look a little bit deeper beyond the veil, why is that? Who's it? Where's the money going? Follow the money trail and the corporations and who's being served at the top of that chain, while people at the bottom are really suffering. And I feel that a big revolution is claiming back your own body wisdom, your own health. And let's start there. I mean, we're often told to put the power right outside of ourselves. Somebody else will know better what's wrong with my body. Somebody will have a medication that will heal my body. Your body is such an advanced technology. Your body knows how to heal. And I say that from living life as a healer and being fascinated and interested in holistic methods and different ways of being. And that is because of my lineage of witch history. And the witch history that I know of were the cunning folk and the medicine folk, and they were using natural ways to help increase the body's energy. And when it comes to energy and seeing how things have devolved, we have been taken from us our energetic principles of even understanding the body. I mean, when I came on to healing about 6 or 7 years ago, I had no idea about chakras, about energy, about how any of this worked, because nobody had told me. So when I went into a healing session for the first time, I had a really closed mind and I was really apprehensive about it. Now, it took proof, evidence for me to suddenly experience a shift of energy, a change of consciousness. And I think that's really interesting that I had been brain trained to be so logical and scientific, even though it went against everything that I am on a soul level. I have to understand energy because I'm more than this body. That is what a soul is. It's deeper. It's something that's pure energetic frequency that can never be diminished. So part of my revolution is reclaiming energy, reclaiming body wisdom, and reclaiming my soul's gnosis. And that means spending time to go within and understand what I know to be true. This is claircognizance. This is something we all have the ability. We just know truth. It's clear knowing. And that has always been a big super skill that I've always had. But when I doubted, it's kind of been hampered by a lack of self-belief in myself and in my viewpoint, which I don't really have anymore. Because having looked deeper and deeper into my own soul and its story and understanding myself on a multidimensional level has meant that I've suddenly seen the world in a whole new light. And then there's that beautiful knowledge that comes with it when you understand all these things, and then you start to work with clients who have the same gnosis. And then you start to see it in the other world, that people are tapping into these different timelines, different histories that were buried, different knowledges, different ways of being in the world. And then you can see the corruption as it is, because the biggest spell that has been cast, I feel, and why we need a spiritual revolution, is that spirituality doesn't exist, that people don't believe in it, people don't buy it anymore, that it's not a way we live our life. When right at the top, in control of society, is a very dark occult magic being used to put a spell over the minds of people, putting a spell over the bodies of people, putting a spell over the spirit of people. And once you understand that we are at this spiritual war, then you can begin to revolt against the things that dampen spirit, because spirit is at the forefront of all we are and how we will evolve from here on in. So I want to speak into a little bit of that knowledge about spirit. So yes, I want to speak into a little bit of that knowledge about spirit. So when you start work as a healer or a light worker, or somebody that's really interested in spirituality infused in your life, there's often a beginning phase where you understand the world is much bigger than you thought. You understand energy. You understand that the magic happens, the power of manifesting, how to direct your thought, your mind, your feeling, your energy. And you start to see synchronicities occur, and you start to be able to channel messages and get in touch with more diviner wisdom. Higher knowledge comes through. You might be able to channel your art, your work, much like I do. You might start seeing spirit for the first time, or hearing or sensing it in a whole new way. It's like the portals are opening up within you to become higher dimensional consciousness, which is what I believe we always were and are. And when this starts to open up, this is like a beautiful space to be. But part of the spiritual war has been on those that are opening up to higher and higher frequencies of energy to receive psychic attack, negative energy drains, pain portals, and things that drag your energy down, because you've become this wide open vessel of receptive light consciousness, divine consciousness that you're channeling through your body. And that makes you this bright, let's say, like beaming battery that will attract all sorts of energies. Because if you haven't been taught awareness of the astral realm, for example, and the astral realm is where souls can be stuck between realms. It can be where negative energies are. It can be a lot lower. Some would say demonic. I believe in satanic and Luciferian energies because I've felt into them. I've had those sort of attacks. So once you are aware that there is a lot of different dimensions going on and a lot of different energies, I mean, to keep it simple, you only have to walk in a room where an argument's happened and you can feel the resonance of this negative energy, or go around someone who is living quite a traumatic life and in a loss of their pain body, to feel how much a depletion of energy, and they may be trying to pull off your energy unknowingly to help lift them up slightly. Or it may, and here's a big one that I want to bring forward, is that a lot of beautiful light beings don't protect themselves before sleep or before going into busy environments, and they're rife for energetic attack. I mean, there is so many, it's called sleep paralysis, if you want to put it a name, but that's an attacking of darker energy or sort of entities. I've had that myself. There is also, you might have had a phase where you wake up and you've had some really strange dreams and you can't even comprehend it. And there is things like mind control technology. I mean, take a look into it. It's everywhere. And you might have thought that didn't feel right. That was strange. But people often write it off as, oh, it was just a nightmare. That's what happens. Well, I don't believe so. In a free, sovereign mind, why would you be having these deeper, dark thoughts that aren't even yours? It might not even be a worry, but even a worry is a negative loop programming that I feel have been targeted to lower our consciousness. Because I don't feel like it's normal to walk into the world going, I have to heal and clear this much junk in my trunk. That is not a normal way of being. To me, that is a devolved way of being. And we are on the upsurge. But this really does take a spiritual revolution to take care of your mind, body, and spirit. And the other day, I actually, it was the evening, and I woke up the next day. And I was partially pulled out of sleep because there was some noise going on quite early in the morning. And in the middle of my dream realm, I was protecting my energy in my sleep. And it was the energetic protection meditation that I put on my channel. And I was actually going through the process. So something must have been happening, and I'm not conscious of the whole of the dream, that I was clearing out my energy and protecting it. And that was such a beautiful practice that I've been doing this daily and night to clear my energy, to protect my energy. And so whenever I needed it, my subconscious was just already going into, oh, I know how to protect and clear in the dream state, leaving me not so vulnerable to attack. Because I do know that when I was a child, I used to have terrible nightmares where I'd come out of my body and I'd jolt back in. And to me, it was interdimensional travel that was going on. And I had no concept of how to deal with this as a young child with no one around me who understood anything about spirituality. There was no teachers in my family. I was very much brought up with this not being my world. So it was a very isolating and scary time to be a child that was kind of what they call an indigo child, or a tapped in psychic supernatural child, seeing that world in a different way to many others around me with no means of protection. So that is why I always go back to protect your energy, learn how to clear your energy, learn what your energy is. And beyond that, because we are taught a lot about the 7 chakras that are in and just above the body with the crown. But we are 12th dimensional beings. We have a 12D chakra system, and this feeds into the earth and into the soul and into the spiritual body and the higher light body and the galactic body. This is how big we are as a being, that we are radiating this auric field. And it's also why I included the Egyptian practice of the Temple of Light, because they have the belief that we are 10 bodies. So it's that idea of getting your mind and body and spirit around being a bigger vehicle than what you are taught to believe. I mean, let's be honest, I didn't learn about chakras until I was in my 30s. And then suddenly I opened this book and learned this new world of energetic principles. And I was like, I'm home. I mean, this stuff makes sense to me, but even practicing it, living my life through each chakra and seeing how it changed and shifted and the world was different because I started to understand the energy in my own body, was a massive game changer. And then it was a lot later when I realized about protecting this energy that I was charging up, and that people would steal energy as they would steal dreams. And that's another way that you can spiritually revolt against any forces that isn't for the highest light. There are dream snatchers everywhere. And it might start with people being not even knowing they're causing harm. Like, maybe you shouldn't do that. Maybe you should have a real career, or maybe that's not for you. And all those sort of dream snatcher energy. No, don't live your fullest, most radiant life. No, play smaller, play smaller. And we have been taught that throughout society to protect and diminish the dreamers. But actually, that is also happening in the dream space at night, subconsciously. There's programs that can come in and filter your beautiful, brilliant mind with that you are less than this radiant spiritual being that you are. And so to revolt against the dream snatchers, it's time to dream so big, because your dreams create that reality. So as much as you ever feel hampered or harnessed or taken from, it's time to expand your dream consciousness, because there is timeline technology that can actually look into the consciousness of humanity and divert it. That is actually what's going to place. And there's actually healers like myself who can remote view. So I would work with somebody and see their soul's consciousness, see their soul's lineage where they've been before, and see their soul's capacity and what supernatural, super amazing skills that soul has. That is how I work with people one-to-one. And I do that to make sure that people are being their brightest, biggest, soulful, soul-centered spiritual self that they came here to be. But that doesn't mean everybody's using it innocently, and there is technology out there, dark technology, that is trying to rein humanity in because we're on this edge of ascension, and trying to make them less than their soul self, less than their enamored self. Because it doesn't serve people if you don't need them anymore. And that is slowly what we're getting into, just really becoming our own wisdom keepers and our own bright higher light. And that is how you start to win this war on consciousness, by going within and really working on yourself and really building up your energy and becoming so much brighter and bigger and more spiritual matter than you ever thought was possible. And so that starts within. The other thing that I want to say is about peace, because revolution gives up energies of anarchy and chaos. And I think that's important. You need to shake an old paradigm out of existence and change it. And you need to push back against something with a new energy. But at the same time, also let the body rest in peace. So keep practices that keep your own body, because your body doesn't want to be at war with itself. And that is the problem. Once you become a level of mastery, you need to start reshaping your feelings and transmuting this energy, because it's difficult. We look out on a period of a great awakening, especially over what we've been through as a society over the past few years. And the awakening is going to get bigger. I believe we are in about a 3-year period of years of revelation. I feel like we're going to start seeing a lot of people that maybe some people know already, others might not, that aren't for our greater good. There's a lot of trickster energy out there. There is a lot of people working in forces that harvest the human spirit. There is still slowly revelations are starting to happen, and I feel the revolution is going to happen when different media systems crumble, different banking systems, the way we're earning money crumble. Everything's going to crumble around us. The food system that's not really serving us, the way that money is divided that's not really serving us, the healthcare systems that are under pressure and don't support a more holistic mind, body, spiritual view, will start to merge and change, but everything will need to fall apart as it does. And the true light will need to shine on those that weren't working for the human agenda. They were working more on an anti-life satanic agenda. And I do feel that it's going to be quite big. And I'm very excited about seeing that movement happen in the media, through film and TV and theatre, which is my massive love. I'm excited that the sound of my voice is coming out to be released in July. If you haven't seen anything about that movement, I really recommend you check it out. It's a fantastic film made to shine a light on child trafficking, which is rife and going on very much behind the scenes, but is now coming up much more in the forum. And I feel that this film will be a catalyst of more to come as we uncover a more darker underbelly of society and what was really going on. And I feel like collective consciousness is really catching up with that, and that is why I've been rejigged to keep coming back to my Shadow of Society play, which looks at transhumanism and looks at very dark magic that happened back in the Egyptian temples when a lot of higher consciousness was fallen. And I guess I want to speak into that about a revolution to ensure that we are all working with higher light beings. And this is another consciousness. I mean, a revolution is all about reclaiming our spiritual consciousness back. And so that is worth looking at all throughout the spiritual dimensions. And there are beings that are trickster energies. There are beings that aren't necessarily there to, even though they're held up in a pantheon. We take Egypt, for example. There are so many animal-headed beings. Anubis, who's meant to be this god of helping with the body and the nervous system, and then you have Thoth, the god of writing and wisdom, and you have Seth, and all these different beings that go back, and we are looking at animal-headed humans. And if you trace back that through our ancient lineage of animal-headed beast, you get right back to Sumeria and looking at the Anunnaki. So we're looking at a lineage that did not want humans to exist and harvested and harmed humans in many, many ways. So why, is always my question, would we worship something that is inhuman? And that is not to say I have anything against animals. I love animals. I love humans. I just don't want them mixed. Much the same as we can use technology, but not mix it with human DNA and go down the transhumanist agenda. My body is the technology. I don't need your chips or your ways of trying to make my body more better than it is. My body is sovereign and divine in its own birthright of being the super spiritual consciousness that it is and that I'm reclaiming today. And so I want to speak into that, because oftentimes we are tricked into signing up to something that we don't know what the consequences were. And I think that is absolutely disgraceful. I have seen that happen to my own family, and we cannot do that anymore. And that is what happens time and time again. I've seen it down my soul's lineage, where I've given up something I thought was for the greater good and been manipulated and harvested and had my soul drop in consciousness. So I think we're stepping into a time now as part of a revolution to say, no, I want to question everything. I'm not going to trust anyone or anything with an open heart until I've got the answers to my questions. Is that harming me, or is that healing me? Is that harming or healing humanity? Because we are evolving together as a tribe. And if it's harming in any way, why is that? Why do you need to harm anyone? And if this is healing and involving us, then let's animate that voice. Let's animate that system. Let's animate that person and support it. And that's another way I want to speak into about this revolution. It really is about gathering from the ground up, coming into tribe, coming into community, and supporting those that are willing to speak this truth. Because it isn't easy. It isn't easy. It's much easier to just speak on love and light and all of those topics. But actually, we have to bring this shadow into consciousness. We have to bring these things into awareness so that we can all get to this 5D earth, this 5D living, this consciousness that we are ordained to have at this time. So with all that said, I feel that the best way to have this revolution is to start igniting your body, your soul, and your spirit to a higher light. Start tapping into these realms and working out for yourself what is a good energy, what is a bad energy, what is a trickster, but most of all, connecting with all of the spiritual forces that you can in the higher dimension and having them support your work, support your mission, support your soul at this time. Because we are not alone. We are not alone in this dimension, and we are not alone in the spiritual realm. So it's time to call those in. So I'm going to be guiding you through a practice to help you with that. But then the last thing I wanted to say is about transitioning from 3D living to 5D living. And 5D living does take this higher consciousness. It is going to take some kind of spiritual revolution to get there. But the best way that you can do it in small steps is to eject out of anything that does feel like 3D living to you. And that can be daily hustle. I know, I've fallen victim to it as well, that you are workable, bankable hours, that you've got to do so much stuff. It's the doing, and leaving time so you don't have time to be or dream or wonder or feel just delightful. And that is the 3D trap. And it's because most of us, myself included, have lived in the fear state of fight and flight. I've got to get my money sorted. I've got to do that. I've got this deadline. I've got this to do. I've got that to do. And it puts us under stress. Or maybe, like me, you've been caring for someone, and that was an extremely thing to go through. You know, do you have family members that you have to care for? And we're in a system that doesn't serve our family members. The carer system is broke. The medical system is broken. The waiting lists are phenomenal. We are having to transition into this new earth while having incredible pressure on our shoulders. I mean, what support is there for mothers, you know, to support their children or to work in communities easier? The resources are tight up against us. Now, this will all change, but there is a 3D paradigm that needs to be thrown off our shoulders. And that is very much the hustle. It's very much the limited mind. So thoughts of, I am not enough, I can't do this, the struggle, the internal feelings, and the not feeling support. So it is about reaching out to your tribe, but also inside yourself, changing your way of living. That you will have time to dream, that you will have time to be, that you will have time to meditate, you will have time to protect and ignite your energy, because these are things that are important to move into 5D living. So now, I recommend giving yourself the treat of a little space for that now. And through this guided practice, we can move into 5D living through the revolution of a healing meditation practice. Enjoy. So feeling into your body, getting your body in a comfortable place. That might be lying down, that might be standing up, moving, dancing, exploring, or that might be sitting on a comfortable cushion with your spine raised. And allow your body to just melt gently into the space that you're in, giving yourself a stretch if you need it. Or breathing gently down deep into the body and releasing any tension from your shoulders, your jaw, your hips, your thighs, your legs. And you can do this with your mind's eye or breath, sending breath into places in your body, or you can do this through intuitively listening to your body. Where does it need to stretch, move, explore? And once you're in a comfortable space, place, or vibration, you can feel into your heart center in the middle of your chest and concentrate on the beating of this heart, your primitive space, your connection to all that is the heartbeat of Mama Gaia, the heartbeat of life. And from this space within, travel down deep into your consciousness of your lower gut, your stomach. Feel into all the awareness that's here. Are there any trapped, stagnant emotions from pain programs? And you can just encourage yourself to release this. Clear it out. Sending it down through your legs, your feet, anchored into the middle of the earth, a crystalline consciousness. Sending into a fiery flame that can transmute any energy that's not yours, giving your body a cleanse, a release, and a command that you do not consent to taking on anybody else's energy, any fear programming, any worry or distortion of your own divine codes of healthy, enriched, enlivened DNA. And with that, you can spiral this back, a lighter, more ignited, fiery energy from the middle of the earth back up through your legs into your torso and your chest, and up out through your crown, igniting your body with the flame of divine light that you are, connecting into all that is above. And from this divine space, I want you to focus on a point above your head, the 8th chakra. And this activates your spiritual skills and an energy of divine love. And I want you to feel into this. And perhaps this chakra is all around you, animated in a bubble or a heart consciousness that's around your chest space. Feel into where it is for you, your truth, your higher heart. Letting this consciousness pulse around you, within you, above and below. And traveling into your 9th chakra, this is your soul's blueprint. And what does your soul's consciousness feel like to you? Are you connected to it often? Can you feel past the density of the body into the soul? Is your soul a light flickering inside of you, a flame? Is it dancing around you in your auric field? Is it a part of your higher consciousness between the heart and the throat? And what does your soul wish to say at this moment? There might be a soul path laid out of you, in front of you, of golden light to follow this path to your higher consciousness. Or maybe you can see into the auric field around you where there is soul fragments, distortions, and ways that your light has been stolen or harvested or attacked. Remembering that awareness is key to changing anything. And if you don't feel your soul body is strong, then maybe you want to turn around and follow the black rose path. And this path is a thorny path, but it's a path of truth. And it will show you where your soul was attacked or harvested or harmed, and where is the pain point that you can retrieve your soul from. So traveling down this path, if you feel called to revisit a pain body point and witness this with kindness and compassion. You might be in this lifetime, or you might have gone further down the spiral of your DNA, your soul story, and landed in another time. This is your cosmic consciousness. This is your soul light. This is your soul story. So retrieve those pieces of light and wisdom and memory. Filling up the heart body around you with your light. And sending love into this space, this timeline that needs healing. Maybe it's a younger self of yours that needs a little care, or maybe it's the wisdom keeper you once were who was harmed for bringing forward their truth. Or maybe there's a part of your soul story you've never witnessed before, but it's taking you there now. And watching as it unfurls, and all the while looking around for that soul light, collecting it in your hands, your heart, your spirit, to be returned to you, its rightful owner, to be so sovereign, so strong, and soul embodied. and watch and witness as this unfolds. And now moving into the 10th chakra, the divine creatrix force of all that is, your higher self. This part of you that is your divine wisdom keeper. And activate this creatrix force of energy, the primal, primitive part of yourself that has always existed within and without. It's always part of the earth, part of creation, part of the cosmos, part of our divine way of being, of birthing and creating new realities, dreaming things into being. This is your higher consciousness at play. And it is above all of the other distorted realms, all the limits. This is a no limits consciousness. And feeling into what that is like to be in this higher paradigm of 5D freedom at the 10th gate of divinity. Dancing and moving into this bliss, into your higher self. Feel into what they want to tell you, show you, or what supernatural ability they have that can be ignited, stronger, revealed, and shown to you the true way of your high purpose living. And then gently moving into the 11th chakra where your super skills align. And these are next dimensional skills we're retrieving from a time that many have forgotten, a wisdom timeline before anything devolved, before spiritual consciousness was taken or stolen or harvested or dropped. Travel into this origin point for you where you are using your divine birthright, super spiritual skill, and see what is happening and who is around you. What beings do you want to connect with in this space, in this time, in this reality? And now floating more freely, connect with all that is, the cosmos, our higher monad self who's part of source and always connected with all that is, with spiritual matter, mother, the divine I am presence, the frequency, the flame. Feeling the freedom, the true spiritual freedom of this knowing that you are a blazing flame of light, of frequency, of love and unity consciousness. And protecting this beautiful beacon of light that you are, immerse yourself in a bubble of light. Whichever colour comes to your mind's eye, wrap your auric field in this and command your energy is not to be harvested, stolen, attacked, that you are a free, sovereign being, a warrior of light, here to raise the consciousness of humanity at this time and blaze so very bright and fearlessly and courageously, and helping to bring the new spiritual revolution into being. Asking that all the spiritual guidance team that you have be anchored and activated at this time, that you may feel into them with your supernatural, highly advanced skill set, that you may receive the healing and the knowledge and the codes that you need to help ascend your body to 5D paradigm and above. And with this wisdom coming down in consciousness, further towards the earth, but still in this light, free, high vibrational state, I want you to scan into the astral realm, the lower dimensions, any part of any ways that distortions has played out. I want you to be able to see it freely in this state. Is there any dark energies around your aura field? Is there any dark technologies taking place or fragmenting your mind in any way? Is there any corruptions on the land? Is there any frequency energies in your body? Do you get a sense of any soul fragments or negative attachments? Scan your body from this higher place and command that it's removed. Your body temple is restored. Any negative energies that you've picked up are transmuted in a violet flame of light. And beyond this, that you will instantly see or feel any energies that come in that are not of 100% pure light and love, and you will be able to transmute these and not have any pain bodies triggered and awakened and traumatized, and you will be able to view timelines and your own soul's story and gnosis with a higher wisdom and a learning and a reclamation of your divine spirit, because this is the revolution. And coming back into your body with all of your light anchored in, your higher heart activated, your wisdom ignited, and your soul on fire. And so we begin from this place, bringing in the new paradigm of revolution of the spirit. And so it is.